Good morning, everyone. How's it going? Monday, January 4th. Kids are back to school. People are back to work. Life is back to normal. The holidays are over. Here we go. Thanks for joining me. I'm Yuri Elkaim. And today we're talking about step 4 in how to reach your goals in 2016. So welcome, everyone. I hope you guys are having an awesome start to your day. Let me know where you are joining me from. If you're in Europe, that's awesome. I'm always great to have all of our European friends joining us. If you're on the West Coast, you might be sleeping still, but it's all good. Florida, Tampa, excellent. You guys are probably enjoying the weather down there. I took my dogs for a walk this morning, minus 20 degrees Celsius. Crazy, crazy cold. It literally took me 2 hours to defrost my face. Otherwise, I would have shot this video earlier. So anyways, thanks for joining me, guys. New York, Tampa, Florida, Venice, Florida, Detroit. Just enjoyed the veggie omelet. Yeah, so day 1 of our 21-day fat loss challenge today. So those of you who are taking part, the book, The All-Day Fat Burning Diet, if you don't have it yet, alldayfatburningdiet.com is where you want to get it. But nonetheless, our 21-day fat loss challenge has started today, and the veggie omelet was one of our first recipes on our low carb day. So I'm happy you enjoyed that. It's a really good one, right? Okay. So let's get into the meat and potatoes today. We're talking about step 4. So what you want to, so we talked about the importance of getting clarity, the reason why, the third step, which was just it's always slipped my mind, which is having a plan, right? That's really important. Today I want to talk about the importance of having accountability. So having accountability is really, really important. And there's so many different stumbling blocks en route to achieving our goals. It's kind of like thyroid stuff, right? If you have low thyroid symptoms or hypothyroidism, there can be a lot of reasons for that. It's not just because your thyroid is not producing enough T4 as an example, right? You could have gut issues, liver issues, your cell isn't allowing T3 to come into the cells. So there's like a dozen different stumbling blocks that could lead to low thyroid symptoms. The same way with our goals, there's so many small little kind of rungs on the ladder that can be holding us back. So maybe you've got a great plan in place, but maybe you're just not following through on it. And that's why it's really important to have somebody that you're accountable to. And obviously the best form, again, this is, you've been showing the research, is to actually pay somebody. When you pay somebody money, you are now financially accountable, and that increases your level of responsibility and your level of commitment to that specific goal. So one of the ways I was talking with my buddy Robin Sharma a little while ago about getting up at 5 a.m., right? So he has this whole thing called the 5 a.m. club. And I said, how do you get people to get up at 5 a.m. if it's tough for them to do? And he said, honestly, pay somebody to come at your door at 5 a.m., even if they don't even come in your house. Just pay for them to come and knock or ring your doorbell just to get you out of bed. Because once you're out of bed, you're probably not going to go back to bed, right? Or, I mean, they could be a trainer coming to train you in the morning or whatever it's going to be. But having that level of accountability and commitment that you are going to show up for somebody else is really important, because here's the thing, guys. We will most often do more for somebody else than we will for ourselves. That's just the sad truth, right? We'll do more for our kids than we will for ourselves. We'll tend to do more for other people than we will for us a lot of times. So even if it's just something as committing your goal to somebody else, or saying that you're going to meet somebody else at this specific time or have them come to your house at this specific time, that in and of itself is a big deal, because you don't want to look like a fool in their eyes, right? We don't want to let people down. And it's like this kind of like this intrinsic built-in pattern that we have as human beings, where if we did let them down, then we would lose that bond and that trust with those individuals. And then going back to primitive man, we would be ostracized from the tribe, right? So this all goes back to kind of our hardwiring. But again, the way to make it even more accountable, to make you more accountable, is to pay for that. Because I've seen this time and time again. I remember when I was a trainer, I would have people, I would offer people a free 30-minute workout, and they would call in. These would be prospects at the gym. They would call in and schedule their time. A lot of times these people would cancel ahead of time because there's no skin in the game for them, right? There's nothing to lose. We have no relationship at this point. So for them, they don't mind letting me down because there's no bond. There's no like and trust at this point. However, with my clients that were paying me, $75 to $150 an hour, that's a different story, right? They're not calling me 30 minutes beforehand to miss a training session because they knew they would get billed for that anyways. If they're sick, obviously that's a different story. So the level of commitment that we have when we invest in ourselves is that much greater. So here's what I'm going to suggest for you today is hire a trainer, some type of professional to keep you accountable. If you don't want to go that route, okay, that's kind of the pinnacle, if you will, where they can walk you through your entire strategy. They'll actually show you what to do. They'll put you through your paces and all that stuff. If you don't want to do that, pay a friend to just keep you accountable. Say, listen, my goal is to, actually this is something I did a couple years ago. There's a really cool website called stick.com. I believe it's stick spelled with 2 Ks.com, I think. So essentially what you do is you say you want to commit to a specific plan, and if you don't do a specific action or a habit, you pay a specific amount of money to a charity or something you don't want to pay money to, or to a specific person. So what I did a couple of years ago is when I was trying to get up at 5 in the morning, I would say, if I do not get up at 5 in the morning, I will pay $500 to my wife. And that happened twice. And obviously for me, it was like, okay, I was literally just giving money within the family anyways. But let's say that money was going to somebody I really, really didn't want to have. For instance, somebody who left a terrible review on Amazon on one of our things, as an example, right? So I would not want to have that person receive $500, or Monsanto. Yeah, absolutely. So that is when you're laying in bed at 5 in the morning or 4:45 or 4:50 and your alarm goes off and you're like, oh my God, I don't want to get out of bed. It's like, oh my God, if I don't get out of bed, $500 is going to this person or this organization. That's a bit more motivation. So the reality, remember, is that you need to set yourself up where environment is going to trump willpower. That's the way it's going to go. Environment is always going to trump willpower. You can want to do whatever you want, but if your environment is set up in a way where it's easy to cheat or it's easy to, to not do your thing because no one's watching, then that's going to be very difficult for you to follow through on. Remember this. I don't know who said this. I think it was Muhammad Ali said, what matters most is what you do when nobody else is watching. I think that's a great quote to really make your mantra, because it's pretty easy to do things when you've got people accountable to you or you accountable to them, or you've got people watching you or you're around and stuff like that. But what do you do when nobody's home, when nobody's around watching? And I think that's a really interesting test of character. So something to think about. So anyways, again, ideally you want to pay a professional to train you to, do stuff to keep you accountable, pay a friend, or at the very minimum, join a group online, a Facebook group, forum, something where you are now accountable to other people. And that is going to be really important, because again, just the power of the tribe is massively, massively important. There was a comment that just came up there saying, sorry, I just disappeared, that somebody's lost 3 kilograms already on the all-day fat-burning diet. So I'm assuming that's not from this morning, because I'm sure you've had the book for a couple of days, but that's tremendous. So thank you so much. Yeah, I'm telling you, this book, this program is legit. It's amazing. And we're currently leading hundreds of people through our 21-day fat loss challenge right now. And this is a beautiful example of accountability. You're accountable to me, okay, because I'm in the group every single day for 21 days. And then, maybe a little bit less as we move forward. Awesome. That's great, Hanson, this man. Beautiful. Great. And you have, more importantly than me, is there's actually thousands of other members in the group, but you're accountable to everybody else, right? And you're encouraging each other, you're supporting each other, answering questions, and that is huge, right? When everybody is working on the same kind of goal to work together, it's huge. Is it possible to manipulate the workouts portions to put on a little muscle? Absolutely. You can. What I would say is you definitely want to eat more food, and you're probably going to want to follow different workouts that are focused on building muscle, okay? So that's the key. Step 4 today, again, is finding somebody or a group to be accountable to. State your goal, right? That's step 1, okay? State your goal and say, listen, guys, here's what I want to achieve. I want you to keep me accountable to this. And if I don't do this, then here's what I'm willing to do. I'm willing to pay you or the group $1,000 just for not doing this. On the flip side, set up a positive reward if you do follow through, okay? So you want to make sure that you're motivating yourself with the carrot and the stick, because a lot of times some people are more motivated by either of those two devices. So does that make sense, guys? Get somebody or a group to be accountable to. Having a coach, having a mentor, every athlete has one. You know, if you look at Federer, Tiger Woods, the top athletes, when they went through little dips in their performance was when they decided to kind of do things on their own for a little bit. And then they figured out, you know, they're like, listen, I don't know all the answers. I need to find somebody who can show me my blind spots, who can keep me accountable, who can push me when I might not want to push myself. And that's why having a coach is so is really, really important. So it's something that I've had since my days as a pro soccer player and even before then. And obviously some coaches are better than others. You want to find somebody who you can jive with, someone who's going to be inspiring and uplifting and push you, but not degrade you, right? Like you want someone to build you up, but you want a good solid push as well. So that's the key. Any questions with that, guys? Or is that pretty straightforward? Thank you for all the hearts and the love. Just gonna grab a sip of my my tea here. Yes, you can keep the servings. Sorry, you can keep the smoothies in the fridge if you want. A lot of times, what I'll do is if the kids don't drink a smoothie, I'll just put a saran wrap on top of the glass and we'll put it in the fridge. The reality though is that I not so often drink the leftovers. I just end up throwing it down the sink. So just make sure that you remember you put it in there and that you enjoy the leftovers. Good question though, absolutely. Anything else, guys? If not, I'm going to end today's session. So absolutely, you're welcome. Having a hard time going from like 6 days a week of workouts to 3. You can, so here's the thing, like I have a gym in my garage as I've shown you guys. So the tendency for me is to like just go in the gym and work out all the time. Like I could work out twice a day if I wanted to, but you have to remember, and this is why it's really important to read chapters 1 and 2 in this book that talk about the importance of really reducing inflammation in your body, because you can train 7 days a week, 6 days a week, but you will wear your body out over time. If you're following a bodybuilding routine where you're doing chest and biceps, back and triceps, legs and shoulders, so you have a 3-day split, then that's more feasible to do a 6-day per week workout. But the workouts that I advise in the book, at least for fat loss and overall strength, is full body. So you can't do a full body workout 6 days a week, right? And if you're using the right weights, the right intensity, you definitely need those recovery days. So on Saturday, I did a heavy deadlift and kettlebell workout. And Sunday I took the day off. This morning I did some yoga, and I'm unsure whether I'm going to train this afternoon. I probably will. I'm not going to do any kind of posterior chain stuff, but I'll probably do some upper body work. So for me, 3 to 4 times is pretty much all I would advise. That's kind of all I do, and I think for most people that's pretty much all you need for awesome gains. So I'm so sorry, there's a question or a comment that just popped up there. I didn't get that. Do you mind reposting that? I just want to make sure that I don't miss out on that. Damn, Periscope, 10 seconds and these things are gone. Thank you. Chopped all my food for today last night. Set up for success. Awesome. And for you guys who are in the 21-day fat loss challenge, I'll be shooting a video for the Facebook page right after this, and I'll be posting that right to the group just to give you guys a little encouragement for the day. So stay tuned for that. So yeah, so that's all for today, guys. Thanks so much for joining me. If you want to, grab the replays of all these videos, join me on YouTube. Yuri Elkaim, just do a search. The username is Yelkaim1. It should just be Yuri Elkaim, but I don't know, like 10 years ago, whenever I created it, I wasn't thinking that. So Yelkaim1 on YouTube, you'll have all the replays of these Periscope videos on there, as well as hundreds of other videos on how to eat well, how to lose weight, how to have more energy, how to work out properly. And there we go. All right, guys, keep moving forward to your goals. January is starting. Let's keep that momentum going, and don't let the cold hold you back no matter what. Okay, no matter what. And we'll talk about that actually tomorrow, step 5. We'll talk about some important things you need to be aware of. Cool. All right. So thanks so much, guys. I got to run. Have an awesome day. Talk to you soon.